Okay, fine. I have 6+ years of experience. Okay. Okay,
Okay.
in that I have worked in Capgemini for almost 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
2 years on Hadoop technologies like Hive, Scoop, and Oozie and all. And after that, 2 years on Talend, like migrating data set jobs to Talend from database Teradata to AWS Redshift. So after that, it is for McDonald's client only. For entire 4 years in Capgemini, it is for McDonald's client only. That I joined in Virtusa. It is here my experience is like close to 2.5 years. So and here I am working for city project. Here for web application for list imports and exports we are using Talend. Like I need to upload Excel files, large Excel files of 8 lakh records and 42 columns into database. I have to do multiple validations and all validations are proper then load into database and this kind of work. And apart from ETL kind of work, I did like REST API calls, like GET and POST calls, and got the responses like JSONs and XML, and extracted them and loaded them into database. And one more thing, one bulk upload job I have worked, it is like uh, creating any for creating any user account, we'll have to go through multiple pages in the UI. Instead of that, if the proper data is given in the form of Excel, I can do multiple validations and do create multiple user accounts using reading simple Excel files and all. So apart from that, I have worked on performance improvements like loading data into database in the minimum possible time and for use the records and handling like 10 GB files of CSV data and reading as well as reading large XML files and all. So yeah, this is my overall experience.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. So more like you're handling with unstructured data in your current project, is it?
Um, Not only unstructured data,
Hmm.
also structured data like Excel files, structured data only, and some jobs will have DB as input, some will have files as input. That's it. But I
Hmm.
know handling both the files.
Okay. Can you explain me about your talent framework, how the design is implemented and what are the different components used and what are the different functionalities which has been incorporated in our talent framework?
Yeah, sure. So Talend is getting popular because of its user friendly. Like we can keep Java components there and we can write a coding according to our need. When it comes to other ETL tools, it is not like that. So if a feature is there, we'll have to use it. If you want any user defined features, it is not that much easy, but it is quite easier in Talend because we have routines and all. So Talend as a tool, it will have a repository. We connect to any repository, like people across the world can work in under the same repository. Like it is like that, and it will have jobs and all. Apart from that, we have job designer. There we can get the components from palette or simply typing. Um, and we will have for each component there will be some variables. Those variables also we can access. It will be there on the screen for each component. What are the variables that are available? And yeah, when it comes to components, I work for like multiple DB input and DB output component. Also S3 and HDFS I have used them as input. Uh, and the T aggregate row is there, and a T map is very efficient. T Java, T Java row, T Java flex, T short row, T and T short row is there, T unique row is there, T flow to iterate is there, T iterate to flow is there. Almost I covered almost all the components. When it comes to Redshift and all, we can simply use Redshift row. There I can write some copy utilities and give the proper S3 path that will load into table, respective table. So I have almost like worked for 4+ years of experience, and I have Talent V6 certification. Also I have Hadoop Cloudera certification.
Sorry, it's Talend DI certification. Excuse me.
Talent data integration version 6 certification and Hadoop Cloud certification.
But haven't you mentioned those details in your resume, the certification?
Those will be there.
Okay, all right. Okay, I could see something related to the Apache Spark with Scala to parse the JSON file. What is that? Can you explain?
Yeah, they are Hadoop related frameworks. It is like
Mm-hmm.
for multi-level processing, right? Like Hadoop, MapReduce in Hadoop. So we have Spark using Scala and all. See, that is for the POC we did for the CT clients. Like we can read huge file within less time and keep the data in the DB as soon as possible, and we can just query those database. So it is simple programming only because Spark
Mm-hmm.
is providing SQL APIs and all. So just read the file and register them as a table. So after that, you can simply query the table. Um, yeah, and that is the part of work.
Okay. So you also have experience into Hive, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me what is Hive?
Hive is like a data warehouse for the big data kind of thing. Here, data is placed in a file, in the form of file. So whenever we write any query, so that query will be internally converted into MapReduce program. So map tasks and reduce tasks will be running on those files, and it will fetch the data. So whenever there is a huge amount of data, right? So in that case, we'll use Hive and all. In Hive, we have efficient file formats like Parquet and ORC and all. So we have partitions and bucketing concepts in Hive, so they are very useful.
Okay. What is the use of that Parquet file format? How it differs from the other file formats?
They are like a columnar storage and all. So whenever we write query, row level scanning is not required. In that case, it is useful.
Okay. All right. Okay. Coming to the Hive, right? Do you know what is the difference between internal and external tables in Hive?
Yes, yes. So
Mm-hmm.
if multiple applications are using a particular file HFS location, right? And in that case, it is good to go for external files. So whenever we drop any table in Hive, so that data won't be deleted. When it comes to internal table, so if we drop a table and that file itself will be deleted. So if multiple applications are using those particular files, we'll have to go for external table.
Okay. Any other differences?
Um, so differences. No, these are the main.
Okay. Uh, Kafka. So can you tell me what is Kafka and what are the Kafka components which are available in Talend?
When it comes to Kafka, that is like POC on the
Mm-hmm.
files and all. It is like messaging service. So yeah, in Talent also they are available. Like we'll have to subscribe to a particular topic. So then whatever the message published on that particular topic, we can get them and process them. It is like that. For live streaming purpose, we'll use this Kafka services and all.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So how can we copy the file from our Windows machine to HDFS environment?
Windows to HDFS.
Yes.
Uh, we do need one Unix server to do that. If we have Unix server, first copy from Windows to Unix server. After that, use put HDFS put command so that it will from Unix server it will keep to that proper HDFS location.
Can you
Like
tell me
that
the command? Full
data node.
command.
Yeah. Uh,
Okay. Let us
two times.
assume the file is there in your local machine, Unix
Okay.
environment. Now you
Yeah.
need
There are.
to transfer the
Yeah.
file or copy the file from Unix to HDFS environment.
Okay, there are two kind of commands. You can use either Hadoop fs hyphen put and location, give the source location, target location, or instead of Hadoop, we can use Hadoop fs also, like that. Put and copy from local. These are the utilities we'll have to use.
Okay. And okay, let me ask you a few questions in Unix.
Uh,
How can we delete the duplicates in a file in Unix? What is the command that you use?
okay, to remove the duplicate. Um,
It's okay. It's okay.
this
Let
uh,
me
this
ask
this,
you.
this requirement I don't know. Like
Okay.
I'll cat and I'll do some unique kind of operations on that particular file.
Have you heard about the AWK command in Unix?
Arc, yeah, Arc. It is like a program. It is like we can iterate through each and every row for a particular file or anything. In Unix, like we can mention input delimiter type and output delimiter. And in the loops, we can add any columns or any transformations we can do. So for that, it will be useful.
Now, can you try to tell what is the command to delete the duplicate? No idea. Okay. All right. No issue.
Yeah, no idea. No idea.
Mm. Okay. How can we find the line number of a particular value in Unix file? Let's say there are 10 records, okay? And
Okay.
Satya is present at record 8. So your record
Okay.
8 is having Satya. So when I give Satya, how can I find the line number? I don't know whether it is 8 or 10 or where it exactly present in the file. But based upon the name, I would like to know the exact number, line number. What is the command?
Okay. Not particularly sure. Some in, VI when opening in VI editor, some
Hmm.
options will be there. If we give, it will provide all the line numbers for the each and every line.
Yeah, that is fine. But I don't want to go. Let's say there are millions of records, right? That time we cannot go line by line and read the file now.
Yeah, I am just telling that
Mm-hmm.
will provide the line number for each and every row. Mm,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sure. Okay. Can you tell me the difference between this find and grep commands in Unix?
yeah. Find and grab. Find is for finding any particular file in a particular location, like when it is modified based on that, and what kind of files you would like to search. When it comes to grep, it will search for a pattern in a file. So if that pattern is found, it will display that particular line. So find is for finding files, and grep is for finding pattern in a file.
Okay. Uh, Going back to Hive again, can you
Okay.
tell me what is the difference between clustering or bucketing and partitioning in Hive?
Partitioning is for we'll keep usually we do use some particular classes in the where class. So those classes we'll try to partition by using those where classes. Uh, like if I'm saving any country data, I can save them by using states. Like each state data will be saved in a particular directory. So that state will be the partition here. When it comes to bucketing, if I suppose I want entire states data has to be saved in n number of files, like 10 only 10 files should be there for each state, then that will come like a bucketing. So whichever the state directory I will enter, there will be 10 files. So it will be useful for map reduce running and all. So bucketing is used for that. Clustering option is there. Uh, I'm not particularly sure of this clustering option.
Okay, fine. And I heard that you have also done some performance tuning in your ETL jobs. Can you tell me what are the ways you followed and what are the different things which you have done in order to improve the performance of ETL jobs in your current and previous projects?
Yeah, sure. In current project, so reading Excel file and keep loading the data into the database within less time. So there are in advanced settings we have options like event mode and user mode. So one is less memory consuming and more efficient. One is that, and
Hmm.
we'll have to do
Hold on.
the yeah.
Uh, Event mode and can you tell me what is main difference between both of them?
Event mode and user mode.
Hmm.
So one will use a more memory, and one will use uses less memory. It is like in XML component, stack parser and DOM parser. So uh, uh, the efficient way of reading files and all for that purpose we use. And
Mm-hmm. Okay.
loading data into database. So instead of committing each and every row, so I'll select a batch according to the data. It is like I cannot give 1 lakh as a batch. It all depends on the data, the input data that is coming. So this is one. And one more job I work like starting they provide like 1 MB file and all. So all of a sudden they have provided 10 GB file. So but it is like hit rate analysis and all. So I try to reduce the iterations and did performance improvement. Like instead of reading a file and looping it 1 lakh time, I have read that file like 5 times, less than 5 times, and did use the team app for joining and all. So
Uh,
by
I have a
mm,
question here. So how many source files you have?
so source files
Hmm.
in the job I'm saying, no?
Okay. No, you are telling like the 100 iterations you have reduced it to 5 iterations, right? Why do you have 100 iterations first of all there?
Yeah,
How many source files you are using in your lab?
only one source file only, but
Okay.
the job design is made in such a way that it will
No,
uh,
no,
it,
first
it
of all, what is the purpose of having those many iterations for one single file? What is the reason behind it? I'm asking that.
yeah, that is what. After team app, so according to the initial requirement, the job has been designed. After team app,
Okay.
it has been connected to T Oracle input
Hmm.
with an iterator. So if any record is there with respect to that particular row, then keep that entire row in the file. So for this purpose, because at initial stage the file size is very less, so job has been designed in such a way that in that way. But after that, client sent 10 GB file and all. So for 10 GB files, doing all iterations and all, so it will be a hectic task. So job is running like more than 1 day and all. So after that, I tweaked the job so that for each HRA type, the file will be read, and I will do the lookup. I'll use a lookup instead of using the Oracle input and searching whether that component is giving more than zero number of rows. I'll use simple lookup so that if any match is there, so then join will happen. That record will be written to file. So after doing this such kind of task. So job got finished in within 15 minutes, kind of thing. So it's
Okay.
running like more than 5 hours and then all. So it can, it finished in 10 minutes. After using T filter columns, T unique row, all efficient
Okay.
parameters and all. Yeah.
See, now you say that you have a huge file size. Let's
Yes.
say the file is 10 GB. Okay.
Okay.
So in order to process that 10 GB file using that file input delimiter component, how much time does it take in your current job?
Um, less than 15 minutes only.
Less than 15 minutes. So did you try to reduce that time by any chance? Have you improved the performance of that job from 15 minutes to 5 minutes or 15 to 10 minutes?
After using all the possible options, so 5 hours job came to 15 minutes. Yeah, there. So that is a, I tried, but that is the most efficient after,
Okay. Fine. Now, talking about the batch processing, right? Let's say your job is running on daily basis, as it is a batch job, it runs on daily, weekly, or monthly basis, right? Let us assume it is a daily job and running on daily basis.
okay.
And yesterday it got failed due to some reason, okay? And the very next day, how are you going to run the job? Are you going to run yesterday one more time and then run it for today? Or how does that process has been implemented in your project?
Um, so,
You
so
understood my
we'll,
point,
yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 we'll
Hmm.
take the respective input files for that particular job at that time.
First of all,
And
how would you know whether the job is failed for that particular day or not? Let's say once you know how it is failed, how are you
okay.
going to rerun it automatically without any manual, interruptions?
Okay. So, we do have like in table, we do check the job status whether it is success or failure.
Okay.
So for that particular day, if there is no
Hmm.
record means,
Hmm.
so I'll have to go and check the logs and all.
Is
So
that
in
a manual process that you go and check it manually in the DB to know what is the reason?
uh, yeah,
Okay, let's
manually.
say now you know the reason. So how are you going to re-trigger the job?
Um, find the source files for that particular run and keep them in particular input directory.
Mm-hmm.
So and trigger the job, and
Is that the only reason your jobs are failing? Are there any other reasons for the job failures?
yeah, many reasons will be there. Sometimes the
Okay,
database.
can you tell me a few of the job failure scenarios and what is the solution you have provided? And also, can you tell me what are the major issues you have faced so far in your current and previous projects, and how did you manage to resolve them in retail jobs?
Yeah, sure. There will be multiple reasons. Sometimes the database won't be available.
Mhm.
So that is one reason. When we are running jobs in tag, right? So their physical memory sometimes it will get reduced because of increase in the cache. It is like for simple Windows servers and all, not like enterprise edition tag maintained by huge servers and all. So for those in those cases, just try to restart those tag server and check whether job server is alive or not, and after that trigger the jobs from the uh, job conductor and all. That is one thing. These are some issues. Sometimes yeah, files might be corrupted, and then in that case, we'll have to check for corrupted record and at least try to delete that corrupted record and reprocess. So these things have.
Okay. Will you get notified through email or some other
Yeah.
notification when the job is done?
Yes, we have send mail component and all, right? So in that, we'll try to
Mm-hmm.
keep the proper error messages. So especially like handling these web services and
Okay.
all, calling web services.
T-send email is something which you implement in talent code level, job level, right? Let's
Yeah.
say you have deployed the job already and the job is running in the production.
Okay.
Now, the thing is you did not include that email functionality in your job, meaning to say there is no T-send email component in your job. But the job is already deployed and it has been, running in production environment for a couple of days. Now, if I ask you to, implement that T-send email, not only the T-send email, I just want you to send email notification when that particular job is getting failed. I also want you to do not make any changes in the job, whatever the job is deployed right from the
Yeah.
repository. So the repository job, let's say ABCD job is moved to Nexus or Git, and from there you have deployed into Talent Administration Center. Okay, I do not want to do any further deployments, meaning to say I do not want to release any further versions. I just want to use the same job and in case of any failure, I need to send the email. So how can you do that? Is there any way?
Yeah, the
Hmm.
possible ways are there. So
Hmm.
because this job is running on a particular
Hmm. Hmm.
production server,
Hmm.
So try to implement like a process, getting process IDs and all. So
Mm-hmm.
um, using T system components and T system components and try to get a process name or ID and based on that try to figure sending mail and all. It's one possible way, not particularly sure about for this kind of requirement.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, do you know that there is a way in tag to send the email notifications when the job is filled?
Okay, from tag. So
Yes.
okay, I don't know about that option. So
All right. That is one of the smartest way to achieve it. So in tag, right,
okay,
every job will be treated as a task. Okay. You
yes,
can
yes,
actually create a notification, email notification on task failure. So your task will be on task failure. So when
okay,
the task is failed, right, then you will get notified through email. In order to get notified through email, there is something called SMTP configuration in tag. So once you configure your email server details there and create the notification on that particular server, it
okay,
will keep send you the log also.
okay, fine. I don't know about
All
that
right.
option.
All right. All right. That's okay. That's okay. And Talent Administration Center. So I think you are familiar with that, right? To
Yes,
do the scheduling,
yes, yes.
creating the execution plans. Okay. How can we set the dependency between four? Let's say there are totally four jobs. One, two, three, four, five. Okay. I want to run the fourth job only after successful execution of first three jobs. How can we do that in tag?
In tag.
Hmm.
Okay, in execution plan we have like
Hmm.
on sub job okay and on error okay
Hmm.
and after the job kind of
Hmm.
trigger.
Okay. Hmm.
So
Which option would you choose in this case?
um after the job after the third job and for 1, 2, 3 on job okay I'll give.
No, no. Can you come again? There is no dependency between one to three. Okay, you can run in any way, but the fourth job
Okay,
should run only after successful execution of first three jobs. Now tell me how you put the dependency there.
successful execution of okay.
Okay, if you know the difference between after and that on job, okay, right? You can tell this. You can answer this easily. Do you know the difference between both of them?
Yeah, after that means
Hmm.
one after first job only the second job is done.
Uh-huh. See, after the first job in the sense, let's say your first job is failed, will it proceed to run with the second job? If you put after,
No.
your answer is wrong.
Okay.
So when you put on okay, right, after
Okay.
successful execution of first job only, it will go to second job. But if you put after, irrespective of the status of the job, it will keep proceeding to the next job. That is the main difference.
Okay.
All right, no issues. And do you know what is AMC in Talent Administration Center?
Which one?
AMC.
No.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Okay, and can you tell me what is the difference between normal and artifact task in tag?
Normal and artifact. No, but usually we do create only we have created artifact tasks.
Okay, fine, no issues. Okay, can you tell me what are the common components which we use in joblets?
Joblets,
Hmm.
database related connections, uh,
So what
that
would be your first and last component in joblet?
first and last component.
Hmm. Okay, no issues. And have you
Yeah.
implemented SCDs in
SD
Talent?
related SD related components are there. So for respect to DBs, that I know how to use them.
Okay, let's say I don't want you to use SCD component and still I want you to implement the SCDs in Talent. How can you do it?
Yeah, it is possible
Mm.
by using joins and all. So when match
Mm.
is there, try
Mm.
to update, and when no match is there, try to insert. But it is possible to implement.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I want you to do the same thing in a database, not in Talent. So what is the query you write for
Yeah,
STD2?
it is. Yeah, it is possible like using merge component and all. So when match is there,
Mm.
it will update, and when no match is there, it will insert. Match is
All
for
right, perfect.
upstart kind of.
Yeah, that gives the answer. That's right. Okay, and okay, I think I'm good. And do you have experience into that cloud environment, AWS?
Yes, yes. S3 and
Okay, let me
Virtusa.
ask you one last question. See, in S3, let us assume there are totally 10 files.
Okay.
I want you to read all of them and load it into the target table. Okay. So
Okay.
how many components you will use in your job in order to read all those 10 files and load it into the target table? Can you just tell me the design? How would you design the job for this?
Yeah, I'll use S3 list, TS3 list, and
Okay.
after that, for each file name, right, I'll iterate and I'll get like TS3 get, and that file will be
So how many
into
S3 get components will you use?
only one only because it is outside
Okay.
iterator.
Now
So
I have a question here. So
yeah,
10 files, right? Totally, these are 10 different business days files. Let's say
yeah,
customer file, right? Okay, customer and today followed by today date, customer followed by tomorrow date. So the time stamp will be there in the file name. Okay.
okay,
So
fine.
now, how would you iterate your job based upon that date which is there in the file?
Okay, it is like most older file will be have to be processed first.
Okay, let me put the question in this way. Okay, I want only day before yesterday file to be processed, not other files. Only day before yesterday file without hard coding any value in the job. How will you write the code?
Yeah, it is possible.
Mm,
While
mm,
listing, right,
mm,
I'll get the all the list file
mm.
names, right?
Okay, okay. Mm,
So in T Java row,
mm,
I'll write a code. I'll
mm,
get the today date, and I'll minus day before yesterday means
mm,
minus two and all. So
mm,
I'll get a particular date format
mm.
in which the file name is there. So
Okay, good,
after
good. That's good.
I'll
That's
sub
good.
yeah, I'll substring and I'll
Okay,
compare and I'll
I think I'm done. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah.
Mm.
What